Hey, I'm Chenille Stems, crafting queen. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my favorite craft product and my namesake, pipe cleaners. For those of you who aren't familiar, pipe cleaners come in as many varieties as people. You've got dull ones, bright ones, flamboyant ones, sparkly ones, thin ones, thick ones, and if you're lucky you might find a nice curvy one. Unlike people, pretty much all pipe cleaners are 12 inches long. They're made very similar to how an old mascara brush used to be made. They just take two long wires, fill them with little fibers, and twist it together. And just so we're clear, you don't actually want to clean a pipe with one of these, because what's going to happen is you're just going to wind up getting all these little chenille fibers in your pipe. You're going to end up smoking them or getting them in your mouth. And if you're looking to get short chenille hairs in your mouth, well, there are better ways to go about it. Other things that are great to use with pipe cleaners are permanent markers and adhesive-backed rhinestones. These ones actually stick really well. Notice that it's the same company that uses my name. And very important, some needle nose pliers, especially if they've got a little built-in wire cutter. You can use scissors to cut pipe cleaners, but your scissors aren't going to be the same afterward. I find that pipe cleaners work really well for making unicorns and other fantastical creatures. So today I thought I'd make a pegacorn, which has, Pegasus wings and a unicorn horn. Get the best of both worlds. So first things first, you just want to clear everything out of your workspace that you're not going to need. Next you want to lay out whatever colors you're going to be using, make sure they all look good together. And lastly, make sure you've got whatever refreshments you're going to want to have around so you don't have to get up and get them later. When I make things out of pipe cleaners, especially creatures, usually I'll start out with a sort of skeleton. Since it's going to be covered, that means you can use whatever color pipe cleaner you have the most of, and then cover it with the color you want it to end up. As you go, you just want to make sure you're twisting everything back on itself, tying it off so it doesn't pull apart. You can even test it every once in a while, just tug on it and make sure it doesn't unravel. You know, like when you were a kid and you would make little stick figures out of pipe cleaners? It's the same principle, except then you're going to cover all of that up. So there's a basic horse skeleton. I'm going to make the hooves and horns out of what you'd buy in a store as Chenille Stems. It's also my sister's name. Grip it with pliers and give it a nice tight wrap. Alright, now she's got her dancing shoes on. And with the horn, you just want to anchor it down, wrap it around plenty of times so it doesn't wobble. And I'm going to use pliers to just crimp the tip of the horn so it's a sharper point. Next I'm going to give her a mane and a tail and then attach her wings. If you attach everything to the skeleton before you do the final wraparound, it'll just hold everything together a lot better, it'll be stronger. So to attach the mane, I'm just going to wrap it along the skeleton's neck. Just make little zigzag sort of spikes back and forth, wrapping it around each time. So I'm going to do more with this later, but for now it kind of looks like a mohawk. And for the tail, I've left a little loop open on her hindquarters. Same as the mane, you just make little spikes. If you twist each spike, it'll hold a little better. Longer ones in the middle, and then a little bit shorter on the outside, that'll give it a better shape when it's all styled. For the wings, I found these beautiful pearlescent pipe cleaners. I'm just gonna make a basic triangular sort of wing shape. Go back and forth, twisting it around each side. So now that I've got this shape filled in, I'm actually gonna take the extra and start going back along this line, making little feathers, like that. So now I'm ready to attach the wings. I've left a lot of open space in the skeleton's body, so I can just feed this end through and twist it in. Alright, she's looking pretty fly. So now that the skeleton is finished, the next step is going to be to wrap it all up in blue. Another very important part of pipe cleaner craft, which I have not yet delved into, I call tucking the tip. They are made of wire. They're really very sharp and pokey, especially if you live in a household with small children or pets or just idiots who are likely to put things in their mouths and chew on them. That tip could cut a bitch. No one likes bleeding gums. One good way to tuck the tip and protect yourself is just fold the tip at a 90-degree angle, line it up with the leg, hold it in place, and you're just gonna start wrapping. You're gonna completely wrap around that pokey end of the pipe cleaner. Next I'm going to wrap the body, which is going to cover up those extra pipe cleaner ends here. Now when you start to cover the head, you just want to weave your final color in between the spikes of mane. And as you get to the nose, just keep twisting it through that loop from the skeleton's nose. And whenever you're left with a sharp tip and nowhere to put it in, you can just grip it with your pliers and tuck it in like that. You also might want to use pliers to help shape things, like you can just give a little dimension, flatten or unflatten, depending on which angle you're pinching with the pliers. And don't forget to give your pony some little ears. You can clearly see the loops of pipe cleaner wrapped around and around. Take your pliers and give her a little titty twister. That's just going to tighten up the loops and give it a more smooth texture. Now the next step is adornment. Remember those sticky back rhinestones? Well, I've got some little black ones which make great little eyes. Maybe some clear rhinestones on her haunch. And I also got out some Sharpies. Just gonna draw a little bit on her hooves. Break up the blue. There we go. Isn't that cute? I also did the tips of her ears and the tip of her nose. Next up, let's do something with this mane. So I'm just folding her mane over a little bit, giving her wings a little bit of a curve. Flare out the feathers. So this final step, styling or primping, just gives it a little bit of life. Makes it look more animate. Last but not least, you just want to give her knees a little bit of a bend. Maybe make her look like she is running or prancing. So there she is, all finished. Isn't she beautiful? What should I name her? Who do you think would win between a sparkle pegacorn and an axe-wielding alien centaur? Ah! Ugh! Who do you think would win between her and me? No, I'm kidding. We would be best friends. Alright, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. To hear more of my story and the story of the rest of my pack, check out glitterouswolfus.com every Wednesday. Or follow us however is most convenient for you. See you next time! This is where I start to really feel like I'm playing God, bringing a new creature into existence. Playing goddess? Is there a gender-neutral pronoun for God? I think it's still God.